Welcome back to our channel. Today we delve into the hauntingly captivating life of Maila Nurmi, the real woman behind the legendary Vampira. With her dark, Gothic elegance and biting humor, Vampira became a trailblazing icon as television's very first horror host. But behind the sharp nails and dramatic persona lay a woman whose life was far from glamorous. Maila's story is one of resilience, heartbreak, and an unyielding passion for her craft, despite the shadows that loomed over her life. Join us as we uncover her rise to fame, the struggles that defined her later years, and the enduring legacy she left behind. Born Maila Elizabeth Sirjaniemi on December 11, 1922 in Gloucester, Massachusetts, to a Finnish immigrant father and a mother of Finnish descent, Maila's roots lay in a culture known for its folklore and mysticism, perhaps an early influence on the Gothic persona she would later create. As a young girl, Maila was no stranger to dreaming big. She longed for the bright lights of the stage and the thrill of performing, a passion that led her to pursue a career in acting, despite the odds stacked against her. Before Maila Nurmi stepped into the public eye as Vampira, her journey was one of quiet determination and relentless ambition. Growing up in Gloucester, Massachusetts, she was a dreamer with a flair for the dramatic, finding joy in storytelling and theatrical expression. However, the path to fame was far from smooth. Maila faced cultural and financial barriers, but her resolve never wavered. Relocating to New York in search of opportunity, she worked tirelessly to make ends meet while honing her craft. From waiting tables to auditioning for roles that were often out of reach, Maila's early years were marked by a dogged pursuit of her artistic vision. It was in the gritty streets of Broadway that she found her first glimmer of recognition, a moment that hinted at the stardom that awaited her. These formative struggles didn't just shape her career, they built the resilience and creativity that would later define her legacy as Vampira. Her first steps into the world of theater took her to Broadway, a stage where many stars have either been born or burned out. Maila's brief but significant stint included her casting in the play Catherine Was Great. However, this promising opportunity turned sour when the legendary Mae West, fearing competition from Maila's undeniable presence, demanded her dismissal. For most aspiring actresses, this would have been a career-ending blow, but Maila was not one to fade quietly into the background. Rather than being defeated, she redirected her energy, finding a unique niche in the world of horror-themed productions. She captivated audiences with her performances in shows like Spook Scandals, where her role as a seductive figure lurking in cemeteries and lying in coffins foreshadowed her most famous creation. These early roles weren't just stepping stones. They were seeds that would later bloom into the iconic Vampira character. Maila's ability to weave intrigue and allure into her performances set her apart, leaving an indelible mark on those who watched her. Through determination, resourcefulness, and an almost supernatural resilience, Maila turned what could have been an ordinary or forgotten career into something extraordinary. Her journey from a struggling actress to an icon of horror shows how she turned challenges into creativity. It was here, in these formative years, that the foundations of Vampira were laid, through rejection, reinvention, and an undying drive to leave her mark on the world. Maila Nurmi's journey into pop culture legend began with a single, transformative night in 1953. Armed with her creativity and a keen eye for theatrics, she attended a costume ball that would alter her life forever. Maila arrived in a Morticia Addams-inspired outfit, a ghostly black dress she crafted herself, catching everyone's attention. Her look was strikingly Gothic and entirely ahead of its time, catching the eyes of everyone in attendance. Maila's intention that evening was to impress Charles Addams, the creator of the Addams Family cartoons, with the potential for adapting his characters to television. Although that plan never materialized, Maila's destiny took an unexpected and thrilling turn. Among those captivated by her haunting presence was television producer Hunt Stromberg Jr. On the lookout for a host for his late-night horror show, Stromberg saw in Maila the perfect embodiment of Gothic allure. Her pale, ethereal appearance and commanding aura were precisely what he needed to elevate his program beyond a simple showcase of low-budget horror films. With Stromberg's backing, Maila began crafting a character that would forever change the face of television. Drawing inspiration from Morticia Addams, the evil queen from Snow White, and the dragon lady from Terry and the Pirates, Maila molded Vampira into an unforgettable persona. But this was no mere imitation. Maila added her own flair to create something entirely unique. She accentuated her features with dramatic makeup, including a piercingly arched eyebrow, a razor-sharp widow's peak, and claw-like nails that seemed ready to scratch their way out of the screen. Every detail was deliberate, from the plunging neckline of her tattered black dress to her sinuous movements, creating a mesmerizing visual spectacle that perfectly complemented her ghoulish humor. When the Vampira Show premiered in 1954, it was unlike anything television audiences had ever seen. Maila's biting wit and fearless mockery of the B-movies she introduced were revolutionary, turning the often overlooked late-night horror genre into must-watch entertainment. Her ability to embrace the absurdity of the films and make fun of them, all while maintaining her eerie charisma, struck a chord with viewers. It was a perfect marriage of camp and commentary, delivered with a theatricality that only Maila could provide. The show's immediate success catapulted Maila into the spotlight. She graced the pages of magazines like Life and TV Guide. She even cruised through Hollywood in full Vampira attire, waving to bewildered onlookers from the back of a classic Packard touring car. Maila Nurmi wasn't just a television star. She was a magnetic presence in Hollywood's social scene during her brief but impactful time in the limelight. Her enigmatic allure drew some of the biggest names in the industry, including James Dean and Elvis Presley. Known for her sharp wit and unconventional charm, Maila had a way of captivating everyone she encountered. Rumors swirled about her deep conversations with Dean, where they bonded over their shared fascination with the macabre and their struggles against societal expectations. Elvis, on the other hand, was reportedly so intrigued by Vampira's Gothic persona that he sought her advice on cultivating his rebellious image. These interactions didn't just add to Maila's mystique, they cemented her as a cultural icon who influenced not just horror but the broader ethos of Hollywood's golden era. However, despite her rising star, the fairy tale quickly unraveled. Maila Nurmi's presence in Hollywood was more than just Gothic glamour. It was a statement that captivated and divided her peers. Beyond her associations with James Dean and Elvis Presley, she mingled with an eclectic mix of Hollywood elites, from avant-garde artists to literary icons like Truman Capote. Maila's intelligence and sharp humor were often the center of late-night conversations, earning her admiration from some and skepticism from others. Rumors swirled about her brief but intense friendships, including one with Marlon Brando, whose fascination with her persona was said to border on obsession. However, not everyone embraced her unconventional style and bold defiance of Hollywood norms. Reports of professional rivalries hinted at tensions with actresses who viewed her as a disruptive force in a polished industry. These contrasting perceptions only fueled the mystique of Vampira, making her not just a figure of admiration but also a subject of controversy. In 1955, just 1 year after her meteoric rise, the Vampira Show came to an abrupt end. The reason? Maila refused to sell the rights to her character, a decision that would define both her career and her life. While this act of defiance cost her mainstream success, it also solidified her as an artist fiercely protective of her creation. Maila's rise as Vampira wasn't just a career milestone, it was a cultural moment. She didn't just play a role, she built a legacy that continues to influence horror and Gothic aesthetics to this day. Her creation of Vampira wasn't merely about fashion or performance, it was a statement of individuality and a rejection of conformity, one that resonates with fans decades later. Vampira's influence wasn't confined to Hollywood or even the United States. It resonated globally, sparking a wave of admiration among international fans of Gothic culture. In Europe, her dark theatrical style found a receptive audience. In countries like the UK, where late-night horror shows began to adopt elements of her presentation. In Japan, Vampira's eerie elegance inspired visual artists and musicians, particularly in the emerging visual kei scene, known for its dramatic costumes and Gothic aesthetics. Across fan conventions and Halloween events worldwide, Vampira's silhouette, marked by the tattered black dress, arched eyebrows, and piercing gaze, became an enduring symbol of Gothic allure. Even decades later, her likeness has been embraced in everything from street art to fashion editorials, proving that her impact transcended borders and time. Maila Nurmi's rise as Vampira was accompanied by a shadowy price, a series of scandals and challenges that turned her life into a real-life horror story. As her fame grew, so did the intensity of unwanted attention. Fans who adored her Gothic allure sometimes crossed unsettling boundaries, dragging Maila into situations that were nothing short of terrifying. One of the most disturbing incidents involved a fan who sent her a chilling letter promising to sacrifice a cat in her honor. True to their word, they left the animal's lifeless body on her doorstep. This gruesome act left Maila traumatized, a stark reminder of the darker corners of fandom. Even more harrowing was the time a stalker trapped her in her apartment for nearly 4 hours, refusing to leave. The psychological toll of these events was immense, pushing Maila toward a life of increasing isolation. Her personal life fared no better. At the height of her fame, Maila's marriage to Dean Reiner, who had initially been a strong supporter of her career, began to unravel. Though Reiner had played a pivotal role in her rise, he even coined the name Vampira. The pressures of fame and their diverging paths led to their divorce. In the years that followed, Maila attempted to rebuild her personal life, marrying twice more. However, neither her marriage to actor John Brinkley nor her union with Italian actor Fazio Mioni lasted, leaving her disillusioned with love and companionship. Maila's professional struggles mirrored her personal challenges. Amid Maila's creative ventures, whispers of a mysterious project titled Shadow's Bride began to surface. Rumored to be an avant-garde horror film shot in the shadowy forests of Eastern Europe, it was said to capture Maila at her most haunting. The production, however, was riddled with strange occurrences. Crew members claimed to hear disembodied whispers late at night, and equipment would inexplicably fail or go missing. Maila herself reportedly described the experience as otherworldly, though she never revealed much more. After the final scene was shot, the director vanished, and the film was never officially released. Over the years, fragments of Shadow's Bride have allegedly appeared at obscure film festivals, showcasing Maila's mesmerizing performance in an eerie, dreamlike world. The project, shrouded in mystery, has since become the stuff of legend, its legacy a chilling testament to Maila's ability to blur the line between performance and the paranormal. After the Vampira Show was canceled, she made several attempts to revive her beloved character, each met with varying degrees of failure. Perhaps the most infamous of these was her role in Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space in 1959. Hailed as the worst film ever made, the movie became a cult classic for its unintentional absurdity, but it did little to restore Maila's career. To her, the film was not a quirky badge of honor, but a bitter reminder of a missed opportunity to reclaim her place in the spotlight. These compounded struggles, stalkers, failed marriages, and professional missteps pushed Maila further into the shadows. The woman who had once captivated audiences with her confident, dark humor now found herself haunted by her own fame. Yet despite these challenges, Maila remained fiercely protective of Vampira, a creation that had brought her both joy and sorrow. Her story is a sobering glimpse into the darker realities of fame, a cautionary tale of how adoration can quickly turn into obsession and how success can sometimes feel like a fleeting illusion. But even in her darkest moments, Maila's resilience shone through, proving that she was more than just the character she created. She was a survivor. As Maila Nurmi's fame faded, she found herself navigating the harsh realities of life beyond the spotlight. Despite her creative talents and resourcefulness, financial stability often eluded her. Maila relied on her ingenuity to make ends meet, pouring her energy into a variety of ventures. She opened an antique shop called Vampira's Attic, where she curated unique treasures for her customers. Her craftsmanship extended beyond retail. She created handmade jewelry and clothing, even catering to Hollywood celebrities. At one point, she ventured into an unlikely trade, running a linoleum flooring installation business. These endeavors were a testament to her versatility and determination, proving that even when faced with adversity, she refused to be defined solely by her past fame. Amid her financial struggles, Maila found unexpected support from an old friend, Marlon Brando. The two had maintained a peculiar bond over the years. Though Brando's assistance came with strings attached, he paid her phone bills, but not purely out of generosity. Brando reportedly wanted a direct line to Maila whenever he needed someone to indulge his monologues, often focused on his favorite topic, himself. While the arrangement may have been less than altruistic, it was a lifeline for Maila during a time when support was scarce. In 1981, there was a glimmer of hope for a revival of the Vampira Show. The prospect of returning to television could have marked a significant comeback for Maila, but the project quickly unraveled. Producers decided to cast Cassandra Peterson as the host, reimagining the character as Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. This decision, made without Maila's approval, reignited her fierce protectiveness over Vampira. To Maila, Elvira wasn't just a homage, it was a blatant imitation of her original creation. Determined to defend her legacy, Maila took legal action, suing Peterson for copyright infringement. She argued that Elvira's appearance, humor, and overall essence borrowed heavily from Vampira. However, the court ruled against Maila, stating that while similarities existed, they were not enough to constitute infringement. The ruling was a bitter blow, not only because of the legal loss, but also because Elvira went on to achieve widespread success, eclipsing Vampira in cultural recognition. This chapter of Maila's life reflects the ongoing tension between her creative genius and the challenges of maintaining control over her work. Despite the setbacks, she remained unwavering in her dedication to Vampira, a character that represented both her triumphs and her trials. Her later years may have been marked by struggle, but they also revealed a woman who, even in the face of financial hardship and professional heartbreak, clung to the essence of what made her extraordinary, a relentless spirit and an undying commitment to her craft. Behind the sharp wit and Gothic glamour, Maila Nurmi faced emotional struggles that mirrored the darkness of her Vampira persona. The weight of fleeting fame, failed relationships, and financial instability took its toll, leaving her with a lingering sense of isolation. Yet amidst these challenges, Maila displayed remarkable resilience. She found solace in her artistic pursuits, channeling her emotions into handmade jewelry, paintings, and the occasional written reflection. Her love for animals also provided a source of comfort, with her pets offering companionship in times when human connection seemed elusive. For Maila, creativity wasn't just work, it was her way to cope with pain and find meaning even when the world seemed to overlook her. In her later years, she used what little she had to care for abandoned animals, often taking in stray cats and nursing them back to health. Friends and neighbors recounted stories of her feeding pigeons in her small North Hollywood apartment and giving them names, treating each as a cherished companion. Beyond her love for animals, Maila also extended her kindness to struggling artists in her community. She shared advice, lent costumes, and encouraged those trying to find their voice in an unforgiving industry. Though she never sought recognition for these acts, they painted a picture of a woman who, despite her challenges, remained deeply empathetic and supportive of others. Maila's creativity extended beyond the stage and screen into a project shrouded in mystery, a Gothic tarot deck inspired by her Vampira persona. Each card was said to capture her haunting essence, weaving her iconic imagery into classic tarot archetypes. The High Priestess featured Maila cloaked in shadows, radiating wisdom and mystery. The tower was reimagined as a crumbling Hollywood sign, a poignant nod to her rise and fall in Tinseltown. Even the Devil card bore her unmistakable silhouette, with claw-like nails and piercing eyes that seemed to follow anyone who dared to look. Though never officially released, rumors swirled that Maila used the deck privately, offering readings to close friends. Stories of eerily accurate predictions only added to her enigmatic allure, blurring the line between reality and the supernatural. Maila Nurmi's personal life was as complex and dramatic as her on-screen persona. One of the most striking chapters in her story revolves around her tumultuous relationship with Orson Welles, a man whose brilliance was matched only by his unpredictability. Their affair was brief but intense, fueled by Maila's deep infatuation and Welles's undeniable charisma. However, their relationship was doomed from the start. Welles was married to the legendary actress Rita Hayworth, making their romance a scandal waiting to happen. When Maila discovered she was pregnant, the weight of reality came crashing down. Welles, unwilling to jeopardize his reputation and marriage, abandoned her at a time when she needed him most. Heartbroken and facing societal stigma, Maila made the agonizing decision to give her child up for adoption. This choice, though necessary, left a lasting void in her life, a poignant reminder of what could have been. Decades later, the story took an unexpected twist. Maila's niece, Sandra Nami, turned to modern technology to trace the family's history. Using DNA testing, she made a startling discovery. Maila's son, who had been lost to her for so long, was now a retired attorney, living a quiet, comfortable life. For him, the revelation was equally shocking. Imagine discovering that your biological mother wasn't just a private individual, but an iconic figure whose legacy shaped an entire genre. The reunion, however indirect, offered a bittersweet closure to one of the most painful chapters in Maila's life. Although she never had the opportunity to meet her son or explain her decisions, the discovery bridged a gap between her extraordinary past and his ordinary life. It's a story that highlights the enduring consequences of love, secrecy, and sacrifice, a theme as haunting as any Gothic tale Vampira herself might have narrated. Maila's relationships, though fraught with challenges, reveal a deeply human side to the larger-than-life figure she portrayed. They remind us that behind the dramatic makeup and iconic character was a woman navigating heartbreak, societal judgment, and the weight of her own choices. As the final chapter of Maila Nurmi's life unfolded, it was far removed from the glamour and spotlight that once defined her. She spent her last years in a modest North Hollywood apartment, far from the grandeur of Hollywood's golden era. Her companions were not the famous faces she had once mingled with, but the animals she deeply loved and cared for. In many ways, these creatures were a reflection of her own journey, unnoticed by the world, but cherished in her small, quiet sanctuary. Though reclusive, Maila maintained a connection with her legacy through the fans who sought her out. These encounters became lifelines, moments when she could relive the glory of her Vampira days. To sustain herself, she sold autographed memorabilia and her own paintings of Vampira, each piece carrying a fragment of her creative soul. It was a bittersweet existence. She was simultaneously celebrated for her contributions to pop culture and forgotten by the industry she had once helped to define. Maila Nurmi's journey may have come to a physical end on January 10, 2008, but her impact continues to ripple through the world of entertainment and fandom. Passing away from natural causes, she left behind a life filled with both remarkable triumphs and profound heartbreak. Her story seemed to have reached its conclusion until an unexpected discovery brought it back to life in the most extraordinary way. Among her belongings, Maila's niece Sandra Nami uncovered an unfinished autobiography. Imagine this: faded pages, crumpled notes, and hidden reflections from a woman who had lived through the highs of fame and the lows of obscurity. These fragments weren't just words, they were pieces of Maila's soul, an intimate window into the thoughts and emotions of a true pioneer. Determined to honor her aunt's legacy, Sandra took on the painstaking task of piecing it all together. The result was Glamour Ghoul, the passions and pain of the real Vampira. Maila Nurmi, published in 2021. The book offered readers an unprecedented glimpse behind the veil of Vampira, revealing Maila as more than just a Gothic icon. She was a woman of immense complexity, vulnerable yet strong, misunderstood yet fiercely creative. Fans and critics alike praised the work for its honesty and depth, hailing it as a necessary addition to the canon of horror and television history. When the book hit the shelves, it reignited interest in Maila's life and legacy. Social media lit up with reactions from fans, many of whom were discovering the woman behind Vampira for the first time. Posts poured in across platforms with comments like, "I had no idea Vampira's story was so tragic yet inspiring, and this book is a must-read for anyone who loves horror or underdog stories." Film historians and Gothic enthusiasts celebrated the book as an essential tribute to a woman who broke barriers in a male-dominated industry. Maila's enduring influence speaks volumes about her ability to captivate audiences, even decades after her time in the spotlight. Vampira, her most famous creation, remains a cultural icon. From her unmistakable silhouette to her sharp wit, she set the blueprint for countless Gothic characters who followed. Figures like Elvira, Morticia Addams, and even Disney's Maleficent owe a debt to Maila's trailblazing creativity. She didn't just create a character, she pioneered a movement that bridged the gap between horror and glamour, redefining the role of women in the genre. What makes Maila's story so compelling is the sheer resilience she displayed throughout her life. Despite numerous setbacks, rejection, financial hardship, and battles to protect her creation, she never gave up on her vision. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the transformative power of creativity and determination. Even in the quiet of her later years, Maila's spark never truly faded. And now, with Glamour Ghoul preserving her story and Vampira's influence firmly cemented in pop culture, her legacy burns brighter than ever. Fans continue to celebrate her through fan art, tributes, and even Halloween costumes inspired by Vampira's iconic look. Maila Nurmi's life is proof that a spark of brilliance can endure, even in the darkest of shadows. Her legacy continues to inspire new generations of creators, performers, and dreamers, ensuring that Vampira and the woman behind her will never be forgotten. And there you have it, the dark and desperate life of Maila Nurmi, a woman whose creation of Vampira left an indelible mark on pop culture and horror history. From her meteoric rise as a television icon to her battles with personal demons and financial struggles, Maila's story is both heartbreaking and inspiring. Though she lived her final days in obscurity, her legacy endures, a testament to her creativity and pioneering spirit. If you found her story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow fans of Hollywood history, and subscribe for more captivating tales. Until next time,